All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's Cryptic Crossword for Tuesday, August 27th. It's another nighttime solve for me, which is always a bit of a dicey proposition, but let's see how I do. The crossword today is set by Anto. We've seen him many times before. I'm only just now wondering if Anto is Irish. I think it's a very Irish thing to shorten Anthony to Anto, but maybe other parts of the world do it too, if anyone knows who Anto is. Not to dox him or anything, but just what his nationality is, let me know. All right, Spooner's accused principal dancer of being a promiscuous type. Well, we have a spoonerism, which is a common clue type. So accused principal dancer, we have to think of a phrase for that. And then, like the Reverend Spooner, swap the consonant sounds at the beginning of a two-word phrase, and it's going to mean a promiscuous type. I'm not sure what even you would call a promiscuous type, a real goer. I think that's about the only thing I can think of. What's a principal dancer in a ballet? Ooh, I can't think of what the term is. No, let's try the downs. Constable is a bit soft, having released liberal. All right, looks like we're going to get a word for soft and then take an L for liberal away from it. Oh, or maybe even LIB. And then it's going to mean a constable. Now, is that a police constable? Bobby, maybe? Oh, yes. So I think if you're a bit soft in the body, you would be blobby. So I think it might be Bobby. And we are just releasing an L for liberal. Now it's confusing because I think L can be labor as well. All right. Made call to get cops involved in action. Made call, from the surface reading, it sounds like made a phone call, but I think it might be to judge something, to make a call that way. And then we're going to put something for police, which could be CID, inside a word for action. Oh, action is often deed. Oh, yes. So it is, in fact, yeah, the CID inside of. There you go. Because I'm doing this late at night, I think I'm a little bit slower than during the daytime. And we get decided. All right. It was used to make Roman omelette. Oh, that's a lovely clue. I mean, I don't think it's going to be eggs, or could it be the Latin for eggs, ova? Or is it a hidden clue? Don't think so. No, I don't see it. Ooh. Yes, so I'm immediately thinking, I think this is quite an old-fashioned term for a promiscuous person, would be a bed hopper. And by the Reverend Spooner's speech, it would be head bopper. Yeah, so I was expecting a word for accused, to be honest. So it would be a homophone, or sorry, a reversal of accused, and then a word for the principal dancer with the letters swapped. But yeah, I'm still puzzling over the accused. I think it's just we have to have some sort of verb for speech to indicate that the Reverend Spooner, when speaking, would call the head bopper. And again, bopper is not. I was really thinking it was going to be a ballet dancer, but anyway, yeah, I think that works. All right, how about now? Yeah, so maybe, omelette. No, something to do with eggs, not getting it. Look briefly at reports of maximum irritation. Okay, we have a homophone here. I think if you're irritated, you're in a fit of pique, which sounds like P-double-E-K, to look briefly at something. Take a peek. All right, experience of getting high, yield before, it's coming back. Oh my goodness. I think that's the definition, but it's a very vague definition. It's coming back. It could be something literally returning. Oh yeah, like return fare maybe? But that's the experience of getting high. Oh, yeah, so funny, when I did read it, I broke that sentence after high and read it as yield before. I thought that was probably the way the wordplay was going to work. And that's exactly right. The yield you get on some investment is your return. But now getting high, so I don't think it's return fare. Oh, return trip, of course. There we go. That's our getting high is a trip. Let's go back to the acrosses. Important religious text is sectarian. Ooh. Well, I think most religious texts probably are sectarian in some sense of the word. I mean, Quran or Bible would come to mind, but how do they mean? Is it simply a double definition? Yeah, I don't get it. All right, melting ice sheets a brute. Why climb it? Well, if you've heard this anecdote before of the mountain climber who's asked why he climbed the highest mountain in the world, said, because it's there. And I think that was taken as a very deep statement. I think it's one of those statements that might be very deep, or it might be just stating the bleeding obvious. Anyway, because it's there. So I think it's going to be an anagram, hence melting, of ice sheets a brute. That looks like the right number of letters. Yep, that is 15 letters. All right. My good man, regularly forceful he is. Well, that reads awkwardly, but regularly might mean we take every other letter from my good man. Yes, and we have, starting with the Y in my, we have Yoda, and that's why it reads in a funny way. It's mimicking his speech, regularly forceful he is. All right. Appropriate or appropriate, entrance for central Harrow. I'm wondering if we have to think of Harrow as a public school, or maybe just Central Harrow could be the two R's in the middle. Yeah, appropriate entrance for that. No, don't see it. Normal lady at home opposes such a loner. Well, when you see something like such a loner, a phrase that seems to be describing some other phrase or term, then that often is the definition. It's just saying the answer is going to be a loner such as this. Normal. So yeah, I think it's going to be a word for normal. Not sure about lady. At home is usually in. But then opposes, maybe we have to reverse everything. So in would become ni, but we have that D at the end of the first three-letter word. And no, need more letters for that. Plain part of Cornwall and Oasis. Well, that's a timely clue with Oasis getting back together. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, I'm wondering if it's a hidden clue, because within Cornwall and we have Walla, although that I don't think that means either plain or oasis, but I am going to pause and look it up just for the hell of it. Well, amazes me that in the search results, the majority is Walla is a misspelling and mispronunciation of voila. So I think so many people have been saying voila and writing it that now it has to be in the search results. Anyway, I then realized, of course, it's a hidden clue part of, and it has to go across all three words. It's a word we've had before, a llano, which is a plain or a prairie in Spanish, I think. All right, you're drained, not you apostrophe re, you're drained after having modeled for this randy fellow. Again, this randy fellow makes me think that's the definition. After having modeled for. Oh, well, if the word your is drained, that would be YR. Ah, yes, and if you've modeled for a painter, you have sat, and then our YR, and the randy fellow is a satyr. All right. No ironing when drunk. Get some food. Ooh. Okay, oh, drunk, of course, could be an anagram. We're looking for 9 letters, so no ironing is 9. Funny, fodder, 3 N's, 2 O's, 2 I's. Yeah, get some food. Oh, onion ring, I think, would use up all of those O's and N's and the other letters. There we go. Let me through for this dance. Oh, I know when I read, let's say, I don't know, maybe P.G. Wodehouse books or something set in the early part of the 20th century, even into the 19th, wasn't there something? Oh, I think actually it's an English folk dance, is it? The Excuse Me. Let me pause and find out where I know that dance from, but it's obviously a double definition. If you want to be let through, you would say excuse me, and it's this kind of dance. Well, according to wordhistories.net, the earliest occurrences are 1923, and so it's a dance, formal dance, but during the excuse me, you can cut in and say, excuse me, this dance is mine. And they quote a column by the Irish playwright John B. Keane, excuse me, but this one's mine. And they say it was a great thing for the women. If a woman wanted to escape the clutches of an over-attentive male, All she had to do was cast her eyes heavenwards in supplication, and in a matter of moments there would be a knight errant by her side, excusing the wretch who would make her dance in misery. Anyway, I'll let you go find that for yourself. I'll put a link in the description, but it's funny. Anyway, so that is, sorry, more detail than you wanted. Anyway, Asian money needed when adding height to club. Oh, I think it's going to be one of those Asian currencies. Oh, I think the Thai currency, I believe, is the baht. And so a bat is a club and height is H, and you put that inside. Oh, is it B-H-A-T? It might be B-A-T-H, actually. Let me pause and double check. Well, I think that's a record for me. I'm wrong with the way I put it in, and I'm wrong with the way I thought it might be. It's actually B-A-H-T. There we go, is the baht. All right, that's what I get for doing the crossword late at night. All right, our central location for revealing secrets. Ooh. I presume it's just a cryptic definition. Yeah, I don't see it. Need a letter or two for that. Drug measures would be heartless for some females. Well, I'm thinking a drug measure could be a dosage or just a dose. And I do think that if you had doses and you took away the central S, so it was heartless, then those would be some females. Female deers, to be precise. All right, faded plant lacks depth on the nose. Ooh, I'm wondering if depth is simply D. And do we take a D away from faded plant? It has two of them. And anagram it, and it means on the nose. The only thing is there's nothing to say this should be anagram, so I don't think that's it. But it might be a word for faded and then a plant where we take a D away from it. And I think it's going to mean on the nose or exact. But I don't see it. All right, let's go back to all the downs. Payoff at end of poem. Ooh, well, it's obviously going to be the something line at end of poem. Yeah, I was hoping it might be punchline, but obviously that would be a payoff. Credit line, end of poem. Yeah, it might be a literal payoff, but that just suggests the end of a poem. No. All right, how about island got really enraged initially over nothing. Really enraged might be an anagram of really. But where's the initially? Sounds like the initial letter. That might be the initial letter of enraged. And it all goes over nothing. Well, I would have liked if it ended in an O, but I'm fairly sure of Yano. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I'll just maybe have to think of... Oh, well, I did think of an island, and then I realized it has a lot of letters from enraged would be, well, Grenada. I think in Spain it's Granada, but I think the island might be Grenada, but don't ask me, I don't come from there. So, initially over nothing. Oh, yeah, so we need another A. Yeah, so I'm not seeing anything that says swap an A for an E. Yeah, I'll leave it in, but we'll have to come back to that one. Seem awkward wearing underwear for introduction to program. Well, something wearing something else is usually one word goes around another. And since it's saying that we're wearing underwear, underwear will go around, and we have O something G. I'm thinking it's going to be a thong that goes around the outside. Now we need a word for seem awkward. I'm not sure what that's going to be. And then it's going to, the introduction, of course, to a program would be the theme song. So, seem awkward is an anagram of seem. Oh, that's very tricky. Let me just go back to our important religious text. Could that be G something T? It might be GHT. Important. Religious text is sectarian. No. I don't see that. All right. They'll see you in court for covering street with obstacles. Okay. They'll see you. Well, barristers would fit. Yes. And so there's wordplay here. Street is that ST in the middle, and we cover it with barriers, which are obstacles. Okay. Omit cover for privates, providing order in sticky situation. I presume it's going to be a sticky situation. Oh, well, maybe it could be omit. Cover for privates. Now, is that going to be something for soldiers? Or will it be privates? And then providing order? No, don't see it. Seafood store where ragged boy rested. Oh, I wonder if ragged could be the anagram indicator for boy rested. Yes, and I see we have oyster, and oyster bed. Oh, that's clever. Of course, I'm thinking a store where you sell things, but it's just a store where you would find them, I suppose. All right. He recorded his times without telling us. Well, I think there was a Roman historian called Tacitus, and I think a tacit understanding is one without speaking. So I think tacit is without telling, and then us is just us. Authoritative reason given to child querying parental order. Ooh. So yeah, it's going to be an I something. I said, oh, I think it is simply a cryptic definition. And it's just a very roundabout way for saying what you say to a child when they talk back to you. You just say, I said so. Why? Because I said so. I think that's it. It seems a bit of a letdown, to be honest, but time will tell if it's right. Stand over major city just a bit. I think it might be a 3-letter stand. Yes, over a major city I thought is going to be LA or New York, NY. And NY I thought is going to be a better ending for a word that means just a bit. I think the stand is a golf tee. Maybe there's other kinds of teas you can have as well, but yeah, I think that's what that is all about. Make mistake and scarper without finishing. So I think the definition is make mistake. We have to think of a 5-letter word for scarper, but we leave off its last letter. Yeah, I can't think of a 5-letter word for scarper or 4 for make mistake. No. Spirit shown by Master Catholic. I was wondering if it might be a hidden clue, but I'm not seeing anything between Master and Catholic. TERC, ERCA. No. I'm wondering, Catholic could be RC for Roman Catholic, and then we'd need a 2-letter master. But then it occurred to me that if somebody is Catholic in their tastes with a lowercase c, I think it just means they're universal, they like everything. And in that case, I'm wondering if it could be a synonym of all. And spirit, could spirit be Gaul? But then that means master would be G. Unless that's a grandmaster, GM. No, I'm flailing about with that one. All right, let's take a look at our central location. I think between the something B, I suppose, or me. Oh, between you and me. So it's just simply another cryptic definition. Yeah, I suppose it's maybe a double definition. Our central location would be between you and me, and 4 revealing secrets. Does that on its own define between you and me? I'm not sure. I think you need all of it together. So to me, that reads more like a cryptic definition, but let me know what you think, or we'll go over to 15 squared at the end and see what they're saying. All right. Oh, here's our such a loner. Oh, odd man out would definitely be, I suppose, a loner. Now, but how do we get normal lady at... Oh, that's clever. So you think of the opposition, the opposite of all 3 parts of that. The opposite of normal is odd, lady is man, and at home is out. That's clever. I'm not sure we've seen one like that before, but I like it. I approve. All right, here is our Roman omelette. Oh, well, I said ova, so I'm wondering if it's simply ovis. Oh no, ovum, sorry. It's been a while since I did my Latin. I'm still not convinced that was right. We are exactly at 30 minutes, so I'll check it. It is correct. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm going to go ahead and check Grenada. It is correct. So, yeah, I think I'm going to have to make a note to understand why that is right. All right. Where to? Let's try our omit cover for privates, providing order in sticky situation. Well, I'm wondering if it's going to begin with no. So omit cover might be like no top, no something. In sticky order in sticky situation. I wonder if it could be a Latin phrase or yeah, I'm not sure. Nothing is coming to me. This was our faded plant. It now ends in Y. So it's not an anagram of faded plant minus D. That's good. Oh, well, we have the O as well. Puts paid to that. So, what would be a plant at the end without depth? Holly, poppy, no, don't see it. Or faded one, or now I'm trying to think of a word for on the nose, ending in O, something Y. Let me pause and think about that. Well, I had to resort to wordplays.com, put in 9-letter word with the O and the Y, and there were a lot of words that matched, but then the one that caught my eye, or maybe my nose, is olfactory. So it's nothing to do with being exact and getting something on the nose. It's relating to the sense of smell. And so a faded plant would be an old factory, but we drop the D for depth and get olfactory. All right. So now, yes, if you make a mistake, you goof. If you scarper, you go off, and we drop the last F. All right. Ooh, we do have a C at the end. Maybe Catholic can be abbreviated. I suppose if Roman Catholic is RC, then obviously Catholic is C. So then master we can use 3 letters for. Now is that master as a verb or as the person? And then what's a spirit ending in C? I presume it's going to be an alcoholic. Spirit could be maybe a non-English word like gin, D-J-I-N-N, or I'm not thinking of any spirit for that. All right, again, because it's after 8 o'clock at night, I'm going to pause and go back to wordplays.com. Well, there are a lot of possibilities. One of the first ones is talc. Now, I think of talc as a powder, but I'm thinking the master might be, I did say grandmaster, might be the grandmaster Tal. If that's right, that's very tricky. So I'm going to click check this, and I'm going to hope for everyone's sake it's wrong. It is. All right, let's reveal it. Mark. All right. Oh, master, I should have thought could be Master of the Arts, MA, yes, and then Catholic is RC. But why is Spirit Mark? That's a new one on me. All right. We do have another O at the end here. A lot of O's in this. O, which may support it being non-English. No coming. Oh my goodness. So it is a mid cover for your privates, as in your private parts. And therefore that's part of the definition would be go commando. And then providing order. The order is a command, which is in goo, which would be a sticky situation. That is clever. All right, just the top right, left. I still need this end of poem something line. It has to be line, I think. Payoff. No. So then can I get my important religious text is sectarian? Oh, yeah, I suppose the definition is a sectarian would be a bigot. Excuse me. Where important is big and the religious text is the Old Testament OT, of course. Oh, the bottom line would, of course, be the end of a poem. Oh, that's clever. And that's also, I suppose, the payoff is, well, what is the bottom line? All right, just now, appropriate entrance for central harrow. Good Lord, appropriate. Oh, I'm wondering if it could be a four-letter for appropriate ending in O. That doesn't seem right. But then gate, maybe? Yeah, there is a word, arrogate. Yes, so I think to appropriate something is to arrogate it for yourself. And central harrow, I thought it was the RR, but it's actually the ARRO, and the entrance there would be the arrow gate. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, it wasn't too bad in the end, but there were some very sticky situations, a lot of goo there. Anyway, let's check all. Everything still seems to be there. Let's take a quick look at 15 squared. All right, the blog today is by Andrew. He says he likes it, but also some niggles, as noted below. Yeah, funny, he points out accused seems superfluous, but I think it can be justified in that you have to give some indication of Spooner's speech. So saying accused would be one form of speech, so I'm okay with that. George Mallory was the one, who said he wanted to climb Everest because it's there. Let's see. On the Downs, ovum, the Latin for egg, I'm really surprised there's not more to that one. So people were asking reports. Homophone of peak. It's also a homophone of peak. I don't get that, I have to say. Anyway, Grenada, oh, got really engaged over nothing. So the initial letters of got, so the fact that it was almost an anagram of enraged was just a coincidence. I do, I don't know, I think as a setter, if I was doing this, I would have chosen a different E word, not to confuse the matters, but confusion is their game, of course. Anyway, it all goes over nada. There we go. And then Mark, oh, it's a kind of brandy. Never heard of it. All right. Let's see. Anto is like a box of fireworks, some absolute crackers, and a few damp squibs. I think that is fair. I think that is fair. Thought Ovum was a bit weak. Yeah. Ah, so peak is maximum. Yes. And as I hear on peak irritation. Yeah, that's why it's reports plural. Now I get it. Yes, thanks, commenters. All right. Well, I'm not going to stay at this any longer since it is getting on. Anyway, thank you as always for watching and have a wonderful day.